what is our goal and in which direction we are going. So, now let us understand non-violence once again. From my body, from my speech, from my heart, from my mind, from my thinking, from my emotions, if I am able to leave the feelings of providing pain to anyone directly or indirectly, if I am able to leave the enmity with anyone in this world, and I decide not to give pain to anyone, knowingly as well as unknowingly, then that means that I am practicing the Mahabrata non-violence. And second question arises, why do we need it? You can keep also making notes if you want. These are the information which will be very useful for you in case you are entering into a spiritual journey. Why do we need it? Why do I need not to do violent act to anybody? Because I am saying that yoga is not about others. Yoga is about yourself. So what if others gets disturbed? Why should I be worried and bothered? True. But Shiva says, it is not for others. It is for you, and it is for only you. Why? Because a human, Shiva says, a human who is involved in the violence, any type of violence, he can never get peace. So, if you do not get peace, then your mind can never get into unidirectional activities. Peace is must if you want to practice the real yoga of unification of yourself with your higher self. And therefore, it is not in interest of others that you are non-violent. It is in your interest to identify yourself that peace is necessary in your life, and that peace can only be attained when you are non-violent. And when you are non-violent and you are not disturbing anybody else, nobody will disturb you. If I come to you and I say some foul words, that means I have done a violence through my speech. What will you do? You will react. And when you react, what happens? My peace gets disturbed. Right? And then here again a very important thing which I want to draw your attention. Enmity can never be finished. Violence can never be finished by violence. Enmity can never be finished by enmity. Enmity can only be finished by teaching others love. And therefore you have to understand that enmity is the root cause of having no peace in you. Mental disturbances, if you want to have, then you can have enmity with anyone. I don't know whether they are sleeping or not, but if I have got enmity with somebody, I will definitely not be sleeping. Sometimes I'll be worried that they can attack me. Sometimes I will be worried that something can happen. So, it is the root cause of being in stress. And when you are in stress, you are not able to sleep nicely. Then what shall I do? How can I do this Mahabhrata nicely? Number one, all those people who are happy, who are rich, have the feeling of friendship with them. And all those who are sad, unhappy, have the feeling of compassion with them. All those who are enlightened, religious and spiritual persons, have the feeling of happiness with them. And all those who are sinful according to you have the feeling of neutrality with them. And you will see that none of these people will try to disturb you. Not the happy and rich, not the sad, not the enlightened, not the great personalities, not the people with the sin will try to disturb you ever. If you have got the feeling of friendship, feeling of compassion, feeling of happiness, and feeling of being neutral and non-judgmental. So, here again you try to understand that non-violence, the practice of non-violence is to become friendly with others, to have the compassion for others, to remain happy with the enlightened and great people, and to have the feeling of neutrality and the feeling of detachment with the people you think that they are performing the sin. In reality, sin and virtues does not exist. It is only your thinking. And if you think that somebody is performing the sin, please remain neutral without judging what they are doing. So this was about the non-violence. I hope everyone has understood what non-violence is and what they shall do to practice non-violence. If yes, then I move to the next thing, and next thing is truth. What is truth? One day somebody was asking me, what is truth? And I told them, truth is beyond expression. She beautifully made this quote that truth is beyond expression. Then what I am expressing, what is that? That is relative truth. So real truth, you may not be able to speak. The real truth is beyond your speech, beyond my words, and beyond any type of expression. And what is the relative truth? Relative truth is something that you have seen a thing, then you have made a perception of how this thing is, to restate, to tell it to somebody exactly as you have perceived a thing is called truth. But when I am telling truth, that means relative truth. I have seen you and I feel that you are very egoistic. And then I realize if I say to you that you are very egoistic, you will get hurt. And then avoiding it, not to say it, is also the truth. As long as you do not speak, everything is the truth. But when you speak, then you should be able to speak the way you have experienced something and you have perceived something. In the same way you must be able to speak. And how you perceive it? You perceive things through your sense organs. By seeing, by hearing, to the way in which you have experienced in your mind through your sense organs, exactly explaining the thing exactly in the same and similar way through your voice, by your heart, by your mind, is called truth. And truth in yoga is a little different compared to the real truth. What is different? Nature has given me the voice. And this voice is the only problem. If I want to impress you, I will try to use voice. If somebody want to cheat you, they will use their voice. If somebody want to confuse you, what they will use is their voice. And there are some people who speaks in such a way that it is neither truth and nor a lie. And that is called diplomatic language. Okay? But if your voice is such that the person who is listening is not able to understand, properly, then also it cannot be considered truth. Second thing, even if it is something truth and you speak it, and it gives sadness to somebody, avoid speaking it. Truth in yoga is something what we shall speak shall be for everyone, and they shall feel happiness with it. And when Shiva said this, the mother goddess Parvati asked, what do you exactly mean by this? Why? One side you say that you should speak only truth. The other side you say it is beyond expression. Third side you say that if you speak truth and somebody is going to get the sadness, please don't speak. What does it mean? And then he explains this very beautifully. Satyam briyat, priyam briyat, na briyat, satyam apriyam. Speak truth, speak sweet, and never speak the truth which is not sweet. Keep it in your heart, keep it in your mind, and dissolve it in your own self. And please do not speak that. And therefore, the yama of yoga also promotes a fasting of speaking. And here I would like to tell you that God has been so generous that He gave us 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, but only half mouth. Half. How, if I say half, mouth has got 2 functions: to eat and to speak. Ear has got only 1 function: to hear. Nose has got only 1 function: to breathe. But mouth has 2 functions, 3. You can even breathe through mouth. You can taste through mouth. You can also speak through mouth. So, still He has given 1. What does this mean? That we must speak only at least half of what we hear. Ideally, 1/4 of what you hear. And whenever you try to do that, you will be straight to point. What happens when I have to speak twice than I have heard? Then what I'll do? I will try to make some stories. Those stories are based on what? Definitely not based on truth. Those stories are based on some gossips. And therefore, Shiva says here very clearly that if pranimatra, that means if the human want to practice Mahabrata truth, first thing he should learn is to speak only 1/4 of what he hears. If you hear for 2 hours, then you must sum it up in 30 minutes. And if you are able to do that, then you are on the yogic path of following and experiencing Mahabrata truth. I hope you understood, and now I should move to the next topic, and that is called Asteya. Asteya in English is called non-stealing. What is non-stealing? Any possession which belongs to others. Any possession which belongs to other is called Asteya. So if anything belongs to you, what belongs to you? Here you see, you have to read and understand things between the line. He says, that in taking anything by your actions, that means by my hand, I be able to steal your things, that is called stealing. By my thinking, I did not really steal anything from you, but I thought that I should be able to steal the thing from you, that is also called theft. If I have desire to take your things, but I do not do it because of the fear of law, fear of policing, then also it is called theft. And then theft is not only materialistic things, that you have got a mobile phone and I take it from you, that is theft. Yes, it is definitely theft. But theft is also that I take your views, I take your thinking without informing you. I take plenty of your time without you even come to know about it. All these, Shiva says, is considered nothing but theft. Okay? So, asteya is non-stealing. So, if you are not involved in theft, then that means that you are practicing Mahabrata Asteya. So, anything what belongs to others and you know that it belongs to others, taking it and making it yours is the theft. And then not having desire